We live in a world that has hundreds of cultures and languages and several religions. We live in a world where each individual differs from another, but the humankind still generalizes individuals. Every individual is seen as the same. Some of us are not open for new cultures or think that their culture is more dominant than the other. Because of this way of thinking, we keep ourselves ignorant and sometimes discriminating without being conscious about it. Is he gonna be on time? He better be. His job interview is pretty important.
I'm on time.
Come in.
I'm a punctual Greek.
So, Mr. Dimitri, you've applied for an accounting job. Let's hope you didn't get your degree the same place as your politicians did.
Yeah, I've been interested in that field since I started my advanced math class in high school.
Funny that how they didn't you inform you about the monetary black hole that would consume your country in the future, right?
Yeah, unfortunately they didn't. No.
Anyhow, it's nice to see young people leaving the South for a better living elsewhere. After your interview, I've got another one with an Italian woman, but I'm not sure if she's doing well.
They too are in a monetary black hole.
What do you expect from years of corrupt politicians? All they know is how to being loud and promising stuff that they cannot deliver.
I don't see how this is related to the interview, sir.
I'm just saying they are loud, disorganized, and corrupt. But down in the South, who isn't? What is culture? An accumulated pattern of values, beliefs, and behaviors shared by an identifiable group of people with common history and verbal and nonverbal symbol system. Having no knowledge about a specific culture often leads to prejudice, misunderstandings, and no tolerance. Prejudice has to do with the inflexible and irrational attitudes and opinions held by members of one group about another, while discrimination refers to behaviors directed against another group. All of this may lead to ethnocentrism and stereotyping. So what does ethnocentrism mean? It is the tendency to evaluate others' cultures by one's own cultural norms and values. It also includes a suspicion of outsiders. Most cultures have their ethnocentric tendencies, which usually involve stereotypical thinking. Ethnocentrism is the belief of superiority is one's personal ethnic group, but it can also develop from racial or religious differences. And what does cultural stereotype mean? It means automatically applying generalizations to every person in the cultural group or making the generalizations about the group based on the behavior of only few individuals.
Hey, did you just have a job interview?
Yes, I did. I'm not really sure how it went, however. He's a tough nut. A real German.
Why, what happened?
Well, you'll see for yourself very soon. Just make sure you're serious enough and don't fall for his questions about your country.
Wait, he talked about me?
Yeah. He said he has an interview with an Italian woman.
Oh, well, yes, he does. You better not make a cold German joke about Italians, because we're proud to be Italian.
He surely will. He's probably enjoying his beer right now before his interview.
Oh my god, is it 10:45 already?
Yeah.
I'm too late for a job interview.
Well, then you have to go. Now.
Come in.
Hi. I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, don't mention it. Don't mention it. Well, you know, in this job you are required to be punctual and be on time.
Oh, yes, I do, sir.
You failed, but that's okay. Unlike the Greek, he was on time. But I think we can just not mention it about being late for today.
Okay, I can assure you this won't happen again.
Oh, don't worry, you're already doing better. Very much better.
Yes, sir.
Well, look at you. The only problem that could be is that you being pregnant and that we still have to pay you, right?
I'm currently single and looking for, I want to focus on my career.
Well, of course, you're a woman and you must have high ambitions. Anyway, one thing I must say before we continue this job interview is that you must be punctual when you're working for me. If you're not, then I get strict and get the boss that everyone hates me.
Won't happen again.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't mention it.
Will I hear from you again, sir?
Soon enough. I hope that you're not as serious and punctual as your mafia friends in Napoli.
I don't understand.
Oh, of course you don't. Of course you don't.
What is gender? A socially constructed and learned creation usually associated with one sex. Masculinity and femininity. People are born into sex groups but learn to become masculine or feminine. The meaning of gender stems from the particular culture's value. But what is gender profiling? The use of personal characteristics or behavior patterns to make generalization about a person, as in gender profiling. Gender profiling leads to sexual harassment, less respect to women and men, and as last, stereotyping of both genders. Sexual harassment is, above all, a manifestation of power relations. Women are much more likely to be victims of sexual harassment precisely because they more often than men lack power, are in more vulnerable and insecure positions, lack self-confidence, or have been socialized to suffer in silence. As you could see in the movie, the big boss was making discriminating comments about the Italian woman, saying that he is not so sure if she will do fine with the job, hinting that she is just a woman and the only problem hiring you would be you being pregnant and that we still have to pay you. Before we finish off, we have 2 questions for an open discussion. The first one is, how do you handle prejudice on cultures? And the second one is, how can men and women have equal rights in the business world?